Hello everybody. So today I want to talk about calculus. The topic today is about differential equations. So now I want to show you how to answer. For this one, we need to find about complementary solution. So I will put about yc equals to e to the power of lambda s. So if we do first the derivative of this one, we have lambda e to the power of lambda s. So if we do first the derivative of this one, we keep the same e to the power of lambda s. Later that we do first the derivative of lambda s, you got lambda. Now we go to second derivative of this one, and we have lambda square e to the power of lambda s. Now because this one that is about complementary solution, that means this one equals to number 0. And now I will put this one gone here and this one gone here. Next, we need to do factorization by e to the power of lambda s. So we need to find the solutions of this one. So we have lambda square equals to number 1. So I will put number 1 go to the right. And now this one we have two solutions. That is about lambda equals to positive number 1 and negative number 1 in here. So we have yc equals to c number 1. That is about the constant number 1. E to the power of lambda s. Now we need to change lambda into number 1. So we can write about s. And now we have c number 2. That is about e to the power of negative s. And now we go to particular solution. So in this one, we need to use about variation of parameters. So for this one in here, I will put about y number 1 equals to e to the power of s. Y number 2 equals to e to the power of negative s. And 3s equals to this one. Now the first thing we need to do, we need to find about the Wronskian. So that should be about w between y number 1 and y number 2. And we have the formula in here. That should be about the matrix. And we need to have like this. So we have y number 1. I will put this one gone here. Later that we need to do first the derivative of y number 1 in here. Y number 2 I will put in here. And we need to do first the derivative of y number 2 in here. So for this one, y number 1 we have e to the power of s. So if we do first the derivative of this one, we have e to the power of s. This one we have e to the power of negative s. This one, if we do first the derivative, we have negative e to the power of negative s. And now we have the second formula in here. So if we want to find the determinant of this one, so that should be about a multiplied by d minus b multiplied by c. So this one we have e to the power of s multiplied by negative e to the power of negative s minus e to the power of s multiplied by e to the power of negative s. So this one and this one we have number 1, because s minus s you got 0, e to the power of 0 you got number 1. So we have negative number 1 with negative number 1 because we have the negative sign here. And this one we have negative number 2. So the next one, that is about yp. Yp, that's about particular solutions. So we have the formula in here. We have y number 1 multiplied by the integration, and we have y number 2 multiplied by gs over the Wronskian of y number 1 and y number 2 plus, and we have ds plus y number 2 multiplied by the integration. So we have y number 1 with 3s over the Wronskian. So y number 1, that is about this one in here and here. Y number 2, that is about this one. 3s, that is about this one. This one we have negative number 2. So now we consider about this one. So e to the power of negative s multiplied by this one and this one. So negative number 2 I will put outside. And we have e to the power of s over number 2. So in this one, I will concentrate this integration. So we can use about integration by substitution. So I will put about u equals to e to the power of negative s. Later that we do first derivative for the both sides, and we have negative e to the power of negative s ds. Because we don't have the negative sign in here and here, so I will put this one go to the left. So this one we can put like this. So this one we change by u, and by u. E to the power of s ds we change by negative du. So in this one, we can use about the product rule of the derivative. So we know that first derivative of y equals to first derivative of a multiplied by b plus first derivative of b multiplied by a. So we go back in here. So if we look carefully, this one that is about first derivative of 8, and that should be about negative cosine u. This one, sorry, this is not correct. So in this one, we can separate them in here. So that should be about negative with the integration u sine u du, and the second one negative with the integration of cosine u du. So we need to consider about this one. So we can use about integration bypass. So I will put about t equals to u. Later that we do first derivative for the both sides, and we have dt equals to du. dv we have sine u du. So the integration of this one, we have v equal to negative cosine u. So we have t multiplied by v minus we have dt multiplied by v. So negative and negative, we have positive. So for this one, that is about this one in here. So we have like this. Now with negative negative, we have positive. This one we have negative with positive. So we have negative number 2 with the integration of cosine u. So this one we have sine u, and I will put about c. About u, that is about e to the power of negative s. And now we go back in here. So this one, we just use about this one only. And now we can simplify e to the power of s. With this one, we have number 1. This one with number 2, we have negative e to the power of s sine of e to the power of negative s. Now let's go to the second one. So we put negative number 2 go outside. So we have this integration. So e to the power of s multiplied by this one and this one. So this one I will concentrate this integration. So we can use about integration bypass. So I will put about u equals to cosine e to the power of negative s. So this one, if we do first derivative, we have e to the power of negative s sine of e to the power of negative s. Because we have two negative form cosine and negative s, that's why we have positive in here. dv equals to e to the power of ds, and we have v to the power of v equals to e to the power of s. Now we have u multiplied by v minus we have this one multiplied by this one, so we have just the integration sine of e to the power of negative s ds. Now we go back in here. So the integration of this one, that is about this one. So we can see that this one and this one, they cancel. So we just have this one left. And now we go back in here. So the integration of this one, that is about this one. So we just choose this location in here. And now we simplify. And now we simplify with the first one. So we have yb equals to this one. This one in here. And this one in here. So if we simplify, we just have only this one. And now we have the final answer. Y equals to yc plus yb. So yc, that is about this one, and yb, that is about this one. And here is the final answer. This is the end. Thank you for watching.